Hello everyone, today it is time to upgrade Jeskai Control with our new Planeswalker that we have gotten, Tamiyo, Inquisitive Student. I've done a couple of other changes that I think could be good in Jeskai Control, so let's just dive in and see what we did. Not too many changes, I'm pretty happy with the list that I've been playing. Basics is still the card that carries this deck hard. Double Fourth and Lingers as win conditions. So what I've done is I really like Tamiyo Inquisitive Student in this deck specifically because we want to play a control kind of style. And having a 0/3 of flying on turn 1 is extremely nice, especially when you can combine it with like Brainstorms and Ponders. If you flip this, I've had games where I play this turn 1, Brainstorm turn 2, play another one after the first one flipped. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly, and the ultimate is just a win condition on its own. Bowmaster is at an all-time low again, so you don't have to worry about that all too much. So this 1 mana Planeswalker is really good. Not in every deck, but in this one it really does shine, I believe. Now, of course, we need room for this. I'm playing 4 because I really want to just go all in on this Tamiyo. So what have I done is I've just cut double Spell Pierce. It has been feeling probably the worst card on the list for a while now. Then I've cut 1 Narset, and if I'm cutting 1 Narset, I've also cut Days Undoing. It's fine, but it's not excellent, though. So those were pretty relatively easy swaps. And the rest is pretty much the same, especially in the main deck. I've tried cutting the Dress Downs to play Wrath in the Skies, but I ended up playing that in the sideboard. With Nado being a thing, you really want to have Dress Downs in the first game. And I do like that War of Supreme Verdict. It's really good against Scam one if you draw it late, so I really like having that. So main deck, not a lot of changes. It's just 4 Tamiyos in there. That's pretty much it in comparison to my previous build. Sideboard, not that many changes neither. What I've done is I basically just swapped Wrath of the Skies for Meltdowns. Wrath of the Skies is just an upgrade from Meltdown because it also gets rid of Sagas immediately. It's also white, so you don't have to fetch up red. So I really like having Wrath of the Skies instead of the Meltdowns. I think it's going to be a big upgrade. Also hits creatures, so I really like this. I think it's going to be very good. And I was happy with the board. I'm trying out 1 Vexing Bauble. I'm not sure if that's going to be something to stay or not. Just something that I wanted to try out, see if it's good enough. And then I'm just playing 3 Pyroblast, just cut in Hydroblast because I don't think we need that as much anymore. And for the rest, it's pretty stock. So let's just dive in and see what happens. So we're on the play game 1, and I do have Tamiyo, so I guess it's just a keep. I also have Cantrip, I have Force, I have Teferi, so I have a lot of stuff that I want. So I guess we just start with Island into Tamiyo. I've also been considering playing Flage in the deck, but I haven't found room, and I'm not sure if I want to, because it's double red, so unsure. My opponent ponders. They keep, and they pass the turn. So here's what I'm thinking. Definitely going to attack with Tamiyo, because it makes the clue token. So it has already exchanged value, so it gave me a card, which is nice. So that's already worth it. I think what I want to do is probably not ponder this turn. So next turn, what I can do is I can actually just draw for the turn, draw from the clue token, and then ponder. And that means Tamiyo flips. So I like that. Who's going to play the island? The plains and pass. Looks like we're playing against another control deck. So I guess Teferi could be really good. I think I'm going to slam that one down first. We draw Mystic Sanctuary. That's really something that you don't want to draw. But okay, let's slam in. Slam in first in case if I play Teferi and they in response want a Swords Tamiyo. Okay, so nothing here. Let's see if we can resolve Teferi. We do. I was not expecting that. No interaction. You know what this screams to me? I thought you were playing Infect. That's what it screams to me. Okay, so I'm not going to bounce anything. I'm just going to draw here with Teferi. Swords, okay. They play Misty Rainforests. Let's see what they want to resolve. Now we have Teferi and Force, so we should be safe here. Dress down. I mean, do I care? No. So they were definitely expecting me to be playing Infect. This is why I've also started playing Jeskai Control, because my guess here, the way this has been feeling is that their hand is just filled with removal spells. So they have Dreadnought. I don't care. I'm going to Swords that one away. That's not how I'm going to win this game or lose the game. So let's do this. Probably want to Swords first. That one's gone. Now I guess what I can do is I can... so I've already drawn for the turn. So if I want to Ponder and sack a clue token. That's not possible because Mystic Sanctuary will come into play tapped. So I guess we just island cycling with Valorian. Do I want to get a Tundra? If they play Wasteland, that could be awful. So I think I'm just going to take the island. Play the island. Just slam in, you know. This Tamiyo has already given me 3 cards, so I'm just going to chill. I don't need to flip it right away. I actually like, in this matchup, I actually like having a lot of clues and drawing cards. Especially if is going to be insane. I still have these forces, so they ponder and shuffle, play a land to surveil. Let me just show you the graveyards. They leave the card on top. End step, I think I'm just going to draw a card now. I have Teferi, so they can't in response do anything. Okay, another force, that's good. So I will just flip the Tamiyo now. I'm going to attack first to get another clue token. And my guess is that this Tamiyo will win me the game eventually. What I could also do here is I could actually just draw twice with the clue tokens and not having to ponder. That means I have all these possibilities to keep the forces. So I think I'm going to do just that. Then again, maybe I do want to have access to Prismatic Ending if I need to. Yeah, that's probably better. Let's ponder. Okay, so we put away Feaster, Swords, Negation. I do want to have that Swords, but maybe I'm going to have to shuffle it. Well, don't have to, but I want to shuffle it away. Okay, so there we go. Tamiyo flips. Let's just read the abilities because it's the first time. So I can give, until my next turn, whenever a creature attacks me or a planeswalker I control, +1, -1, -0, or -3 is return instant or sorcery from graveyard to your hand. If it's green, add a color, never going to happen. Then -7 is you draw half of your deck and win the game. That's pretty much it. So I think right now I just want to plus, and I'm feeling very, very safe here. I can't see us losing anytime soon, so yeah. Tamiyo, great start. They play Null Drifter. Yeah, this is a cast trigger, so I'm fine with that. Don't really care about Null Drifter really. They can't do instant speed stuff, so this is fine. They can draw as many cards as they want. They will never catch up. They just concede. This game is over. Nice. Sideboarding relatively easy, so Pyroblast are going to be an all-star. Back to basics, not the best in this deck. I really like Lavinia in this matchup. So Ravenous Skies is also pretty good because you can actually get rid of the creatures fairly easily with X paying 1. Anything else I want? I don't think so. Triumph is okay, I guess. Let's just cut Force of Negations. Those are pretty bad. Dress Downs are not great against this deck because they wanna have access to Dress Downs, so that's an easy cut. Then I guess I just cut these back to basics for... It's going to be Wrath or Triumph. I could also play one of each. I guess I'll go with that. Okay, and submit. Okay, not the worst. I have removal. I can play Triumph turn 2, so I'm... turn 3, sorry. I'm not unhappy with this. They pondered to not shuffle, so I'm going to ponder 2. Okay, we have Tamiyo again. We have removal, so I don't think I want Prismatic Ending. That's probably the worst one, so I think I'm going to draw... the swords first, and then we draw Tamiyo and probably get rid of the Prismatic Ending. We'll see how the game develops. Probably just want to have more lands. They play an island and pass. Okay, so I'm going to play the Feaster. I'm going to play the Tamiyo. What's really cool about Tamiyo is that if they now want a Swords Tamiyo, I can in response Brainstorm, and that means it will flip to a Planeswalker and then the removal will fizzle, so that's pretty good. That does mean I'm not able to play Triumph, but okay. They dress down now. So do I want to respond to this? Because that means they will probably next turn just play a threat. But I can swords it, so I think I'm going to let this one go. Important for me to realize is that if I brainstorm now, to me it will not flip. Dreadnought, that's okay. That's what I was expecting. Here we see the sword, so I'm definitely going to fight over this. I think I'm going to pitch, I guess, Supreme Verdict to this swords. So what's going to happen is they could force back and then I force back again. Do have to brainstorm, but okay, so be it. Or what I could also do is I could just force, pitching force, keep the verdict in the brainstorm, and then I have a Triumph, swords, etc. That's probably better. Let's just force, see what happens. As expected, they force back. Excellent. So now I can very safely next turn go for swords and brainstorm. I could draw this prismatic ending now, since they have Dreadnought. I probably want to do that. Let's fetch first, because I want to brainstorm after. There we go, we've gotten rid of that. Now let's brainstorm. They daze the brainstorm, that's okay. They play Murktide, that's fine. I'm going to swords that one. So really happy that I drew the prismatic ending now. Let's just do that in the upkeep to play around force negation. Drawing Teferi was nice. Just need a land and I think we are very good. They brainstorm. Probably digging for force or will. They didn't find it. Alright, looks like we're in pretty good shape. Just need to draw a land and then we're good. There we go. I'm going to play it. Don't think I have the luxury to wait. Now, should I get in plains or an island here? No stifle, that's good. I guess I need to get a plains, because that means I can resolve Supreme Verdict with every land I draw. So let's just do just that. Do they have days? They don't. Doorkeeper Thrall, that's okay. I think I'm just going to bounce the Thrall. Tamiyo, not bad. One more land and we can cast Supreme Verdict. And I think if we're able to cast it, it should be... we should have been able to lock down the game. Thrall's fine. I can block this with Tamiyo. Don't forget it has flying. It's crazy good. Mountain. So I think I just play this. I could also do nothing and have Supreme Verdict up. My guess is that they want to, the Doorkeeper Thrall, they want to use it to actually play a creature. So maybe it is correct for me to just do nothing. However, playing Tamiyo is fine too. Let's play the Tamiyo. If I could cash in the Supreme Verdict when they have no cards in hand, that's just GG. Don't have to play around instants because I have to ferry. They leave the card on top that they found with the archive. Now they're going to Null Drifter. Okay. So they draw. I'm going to destroy all the creatures, so this is okay. I will lose my Tamiyo, that's unfortunate, but... So let's play the Vista. I'm going to attack because that does net me another card. What I could also do is just draw and then hope to find a cantrip and flip it, but that means I do take an annihilated trigger, so I don't want to do that. I think this Teferi, I do have Triumph. This is going to be good enough for me to win the game, I believe. So I attack, get a clue token. They will probably block. There we go. I can safely wait until it's their turn to play the Supreme Verdict. Who knows? Maybe they want to slam another creature and then get another bonus. I could also sacrifice a clue token, which is hilarious. To the annihilated trigger, I mean. Okay. So they won't take the bait, so I'm going to get rid of everything now. That just happens. They brainstorm. I'm probably going to hardcast Triumph next turn if I don't have anything else interesting to do. Counterbalance. That's perfectly fine. I doubt that they will have put Force of Will on top. Let's... Could also bound. Nah, I definitely want to keep this Teferi. So I'm going to plus, let's get an island and play Triumph. They probably put something of converted mana cost 1 on top. That's what they should have done at least. If they put Force of Will on top, that's just next level big brain right there. They didn't, they fetch. Okay, let's see what they have on top. They reveal the Force of Will. Okay, they actually have the Force of Will on top. Yeah, okay, so be it. Not the end of the world. What I can do is I can just safely bounce Counterbalance and then brainstorm. Nice, having all my basics, then putting the Wasteland in there. So let's bounce the Counterbalance. Don't want to have to worry about that. We find Tamiyo, excellent, so I'm going to play that one. Going to brainstorm straight away. Yeah, I don't want to have Volcanic. I think Narset is nice. I'm going to play that one next turn, so put them like this. That's plus... Alright, we're in very good shape here. I don't think I'm going to be able to lose this game. Yeah, you can have your Counterbalance. That's fine. Plus this. I could get prismatic ending out of my graveyard to get rid of counterbalance, but I think I'd rather just plus, really, just win the game. Winning the game is always nice. Let's see if they have a 3-drop on top. That would be amazing. They reveal Scalding Tarn this time. Okay, so that's good to know. That means I can safely use swords. I'm going to minus, see what's up there. Probably force would be the best thing for me to find. I do have ending. I also have pyroblast. I'm going to take the pyroblast because that means I can safely counterbalance right now. And they just concede. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I have full control of this game. I was never going to lose this one. Really strong showing here from the deck. Let's go to game 2. I said game 2 again, right? It's of course round 2. Hand's great, but no lands. Yeah, that's a keep. What's the worst one in here? I guess Dresdown, it's the most situational card. Ooh, Eldrazi. This could be tough. Now, we do have swords, we have Teferi, so it's not like I don't have any chances, but I think Eldrazi is one of the more tougher matchups for this deck. And you can see one of the reasons why. Linebreaker. I have to read a lot of these cards, so bear with me here. So, Fleet Trample, beginning of combat, target which gains haste and plus X+O, where X is the number of Eldrazi's you control. Okay. That's fine. So it gains hastes 4/3. Very big ouch. And if then Brainstorm, going to Lorien probably in my... Okay, back to basics. That's a really, really good one. That's going to be excellent in the matchup. I just need to survive until I can slam down back to basics. Do want to draw the island, so I'm going to play the fetch. So I want them to spend all their mana to cost a creature, and then I'm going to swords the Linebreaker, so they can't have double haste. Then probably just slam down back to basics. Hoping they have tap here. So they get to search for a land, put it onto the battlefield. Untapped, and then if they kick it, exile target land. Now they didn't do that. Okay, so I'm just going to swords right now. Okay, so that just happens. Nothing I can do about the sowing Mycospawn. They do have another follow-up. So it's going to be interesting here. How long am I going to be able to survive? That's the question. Do I want to brainstorm to find force? I think I do, honestly. If I can slam down back to basics, I think the game is over. Okay, so no force, but we do find swords, so that buys us some time. Do I want to get rid of anything? I don't think so. Going to put these on top, going to draw and play back to basics. So we did just that. Now the question is, do they have more lands to play more threats? If I can make it so I can sword and Teferi, we win, but we'll have to see if we get there. Now, luckily, Ita Heralds on its own is not that powerful. It just gives +1/+1. That's okay. I could in my upkeep. I know that the land on top is something that I do not want. Okay, so we do make it to the end step. I think it might be the best thing to actually get rid of it that heralds the end, because it does make all these things cheaper. Right now we have Eye of Ugin making it 2 cheaper, so they could, well, if I want to count it like that way, it's 2, 3, 4. So if I get rid of this first, that could also be good. I think I want to get rid of the land. Get an island, get a fresh draw here. Another sword, that's really good. Now they can easily play it that heralds the end. So I could also ponder first. Maybe I should have pondered first, and then if I find double swords, it would have been better to actually just swords both of these. Yeah, I think I want to swords it that heralds the end. Force isn't bad, because if they tap these things, force is live again. So I think the worst one in here is probably ending. So I'm going to draw force now. I'm going to swords it that heralds the end immediately. It also makes the other one smaller, so it buys me time. And next turn, what I can do is I can play swords. Hopefully I'm able to play Teferi. Also have force. So okay, I like where this is going. They have Wasteland. I love Jeskai Control. Okay, so uncounterable. Nothing I can do about this. Wow, they have the Wastegate Battle Mage. That is rough. That's a good one. Yeah, nothing I can do about it. It's uncounterable. So, okay, I guess. How am I going to win here? I need to survive one more turn, so I guess what I want to do is I want to fetch. So I know next turn they can give something haste, so I don't want that happening. So I'm going to have to definitely have a sword available. So I really wish that I could play Mystic Sanctuary and play Teferi, but then I need to tap out with my white card, so I can't do that. So I'm going to have to play the Plains, get Teferi online. I have to bounce something, so I think Wayscape, currently, if they want to play this again, it's worthless because they can't get rid of anything, so I think I'm going to have to bounce this. Supreme Verdict isn't bad. Let's go, next turn. So I can force now if I want to. Damn, that Wayscape. I was really relying on this back to basics. I think I would have won if that one was able to stay on the battlefield. Okay, colorless, so they make a lot of spawns whenever it enters 1 damage. Okay, could be scary. Could be scary. They do have to enter, so that's something. ThoughtKnot Seer. So the ThoughtKnot was not cast with Cavern, so I could force. Thing is, I think I really need to have Supreme Verdicts. Then again, I also need to be able to stop the next spell from Resolve. I think this game is over. They still have the haste dude that I have to counter. Sorry, they have the swords. So I can't let ThoughtKnot happen because they will just take swords and win because the other one's uncounterable. So then I just lose because of the haste. So I have to force this. Fortunately, I go down to 3, so I'm still going to lose. But maybe they just attack here. Okay, it looks like they're just going to attack. They don't even attack. Misclick? Must have been a misclick. Don't think it changes all that much. So now they just cast it. They will get 2 damage in if I let this happen. So I think in response I'm going to have to swords this one. Tamiyo is not going to cut it. They have the haste creature in hand. Well, they have made mistakes before, so maybe they mess up again. Let's see. Wait a minute, what am I talking about? I exiled the haste creature, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Of course. I bounced this one. In my head it was the other way around. Okay. Don't think it matters. Would have played the same, but I'm clinging on to life here. That's basically it. Let's ponder. What am I going to find that saves me here? I don't know. I really don't know. I've already lost my Supreme Verdict, so I guess we Narset. Let's see. No, this game is over. We can summarize this by them having a solution for back to basics and me losing. This is a very difficult matchup. So I think I want to have Wraths, more removal. Definitely want another back to basics. I think Lavinia is going to be good in this matchup too. Do I want Triumphs? Let's see what we cut first. Force Negation is definitely not good. They're probably playing Chalice, but okay. We have Wrath of the Skies for that as well, so. What else is there? Force Wills really aren't great. I'm not sure if Tamiyo is what I want to be doing in this matchup. Though it is a turn 1 fast clock. I saw Eye of Ugin, so they definitely have one of those late game bombs. That's the one I'm most afraid of. How about Doorkeeper Thrall? That could be good. So I think I want to have these. Probably want to trim down on some forces. But Manic Ending isn't good against this deck. They have a lot of expensive stuff. So I guess I just cut 2 endings as well and then play 1 more force. They need to have Cavern of Souls. And they don't always have it. So yeah, I think this is fine. I don't think I want to have Triumph. Let's submit. In general, I prefer back to basics over like something that only works once. such as Ruination, but in this matchup, Ruination would be better, but in most matchups, Back to Basics is better. Okay, so not great. Just a bunch of lands and then one Ponder. I think I can do better than that. Yeah, this is much better. Then we get rid of Mystic Sanctuary. Huh. Never mind. Probably gonna get rid of 4th Elingus. I really want to go 1, 2, 3. But with Mystic Sanctuary, that's not a guarantee. Because I want to be able to Swords the first turn, but I think I'm not going to be able to do that. So I think it's best for me to actually play Mystic Sanctuary, so I can play next turn Lavinia, and then follow it up with Teferi. That should be good. Mox Diamond, okay. And pass. Okay. I like that start. So I will just slam down Lavinia straight away. This is the reason why you still want to play Lavinia, even though we have Vexing Bauble now. They are not exactly the same. They do similar things, but not in every matchup. Off to a good start. I could play Teferi and bounce Mox Diamond, depending on what they do. I like that. ThoughtKnot, that's okay. I can get rid of it. Sorry, I can get rid of it with either Swords or Teferi. Back to basics here. I just have to play this right. I should have time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. It's too good not to. They follow it up with Ancient Tomb. Let's see if they have another... They do have the Wasescape. Okay. I mean, if they have it, they have it. Nothing I can do about it. I wonder how many they play. Wrath of the Skies. Don't have white yet. I think I just want to play Teferi. And if I bounce ThoughtKnot, they can replay it, but I do draw an extra card. And I have Teferi on board. Yeah, not ideal, but I think I have to. Okay, so we drew a land and Narset. Do I want to Ponder right now? They do play Wastelands, so... They're probably going to take my Wrath of the Skies with ThoughtKnot. Yeah, I think I want to Ponder. That's not great. I can next turn cast Lorien Reveal, but is that good enough? Yeah, I'm gonna keep. So I put Island on top, then we have Lorien and the Mountain. I will block Wasescape with Lavinia. There we go, they play ThoughtKnot. What are they gonna take? We'll see. As expected, they take the board wipe. That's a scary one. The haste creature is really, really good. So I guess that does change things. I think I just want to find swords. So I'm gonna have to play Narset. I'm going to play the Narset. Let's dig for swords. And I have to get rid of the haste creature. Okay. So I guess we just lose. Yeah, let's concede. So last round, them getting rid of Back to Basics twice was unfortunate. If Eldrazi and aggro gets an uptick once we get an inevitable Grief ban, I'm probably going to add something like Ruination in the deck. But this hand's good. I'm going to keep. Probably want to start out with a Flooded Strand, so I can, if I have to, I can get a Tundra, but otherwise I have blue and white. Could also get a Plains, but I don't want to do that. Okay, so it looks like we are playing against Scam. Do I want to Brainstorm end of turn? I don't think so. These decks are cutting Bowmasters, so you just have to respect it because it's not like you have to. It's something to be, to realize that is the trend that's happening right now. Ponder, okay. Not a very aggressive start. Feels like that's really good for us. Now I will end of turn Brainstorm. Found a bunch of lands, that's good. So I guess Manic Ending is the worst one. Probably shuffle it away. Not going to do anything now because I want to have the option to double swords if I need to. And I also don't want to play Dress Down into Daze. Voidwalker, that's fine. It's always such a feel-good when you play around Wasteland. Guess we Brainstorm now. Okay, not unhappy. I think I'm going to get rid of Force Negation and Prismatic Ending. Those are probably the worst ones in here. I will just get an island now. We will find second white mana. Play Supreme Verdict if we need to. There we go. So I guess I play... Could play Narset. But if they don't have the scam package, I want to play it safe, I think. Let's just chill. So if I play Pond, I can still play the Dress Down or Swords. So I feel like Pond is a safe thing to play. Not the best here. I think that's a shuffle. Okay, Mystic Sanctuary is not the card that you want to draw. But it's a land, so it's fine. End of turn, Cycle Troll, that's fine. They cast Grief, so I'm going to Dress Down. Make him pay 4 mana just to cast a 3/2. They force. That's actually good, because I'm going to... do I even want a Swords of Grief? Because that means I do not play around days. There are just 2 Trolls in here. I think I can manage Grief. I don't want to have the risk of putting the swords into a daze, and Supreme Verdict always works, so I'm okay with this. I'm actually happy that they wasted Force on that. They discard Narset. Okay, that was a bit unexpected. So now I have the option to either fetch up a Plains with this, so I can cast Supreme Verdict, or I can get an island and then Mystic Sanctuary and get something back. I'm probably just going to start out with Swordsing the Grief. And I actually will just get my island. Because if it really comes down to it, I can play the Yorion to get Chandra if I need to. But I think I want to have a cantrip here. It's probably going to be Brainstorm, I guess. If they Wasteland Mystic, that's really okay. As expected, they Wasteland the Sanctuary. Not going to respond to that. That's fine. Not a Grief. So what do I care about? If they take Supreme Verdict, doesn't change all that much. I'm going to draw Brainstorm, so that's okay. If they take Lorien, that's also fine. Yeah, I'm just going to let this one go. So they did take the Lorien, that's okay. So I'm going to get rid of fourths. And fourth is not what I'm looking for right now. Let's shuffle these. We shuffle. Back to Basics is a good pickup. Missing a land, otherwise it would have been great. Kind of hoping that they just play a bunch of creatures. They have another Grief. Yeah, okay. But now, I'm curious what they're going to take. Probably take, yeah, Supreme Verdict. But it's okay. We do have Back to Basics, so if we just slam this one down, definitely going to start with that. It's too good not to. Looks like they have Force. Yep. Okay. Oh, and that's Grief number 4. Cool. That was a good draw. Brainstorm. Let's see what we find. 1 swords and then dead. So we tried, but they drew way too hot this game. So I bring in a lot of stuff. I just bring in more removal spells. I'm not sure if I actually want these Wraths. The more I think about it, probably not, because they play a lot of highly costed creatures. Not sure if it's worth it against Frog and or Bowmaster on its own, so I'm going to cut those. Also, as a Triumph, Rest in Peace, Doorkeeper Thrall, 2 Cages in Vexing Bauble, and Lavinia. Cards that are not that great are Prismatic Ending. We saw how bad they were. Now, sure, you can sometimes hit Dorothy Voidwalker, stuff like that, but you have to cut something. Tamiyos are a bit slow, but I think I want to keep them. Let's cut the Prismatic Endings. Force Negations, not the best. They will just take it with Griefs anyway. Teferi is fine, but not excellent. So I'm going to trim down on some numbers. Not sure if I want a third Back to Basics. It's a fast deck, so I can probably just play... Just keep it with 2 Back to Basics. Cut 1 Tamiyo maybe, and then 1 Narset. Not going to spend too much time on this matchup because I hate this deck. So I'm going to keep... I'm just going to try 1, 2, 3. So Tamiyo resolves. They play Underground Sea. My turn. I'm going to try to play Lavinia. I will attack first. If they have Days, that's unfortunate, but I think I have to use my spells when I can against this deck. Because if Lavinia does resolve, then it's looking pretty good. Drawing Mountain wasn't great, but at least we have Back to Basics and we have all basics. So they Brainstorm. Looks like they don't have Days or Force. They found Days. That's okay. That means I can Back to Basics next turn. Assuming they didn't find Grief, of course. They reanimate my Lavinia. My friend, I'm not sure if that was the best idea. So I just play back the basics and it resolves. Why would they play... Yeah, and they just concede. I'm not sure if reanimating Lavinia here was a good idea. I don't care about this. Okay, game 3. Back to basics did look hot. I may make some changes for game 3. Nah, that's not. I'm happy. Let's submit. Yeah, this is nice. I'm gonna keep. Really want to get Tundra, but I don't think I can. Remember, they play Wasteland, so that's a bit too risque. I'm probably gonna start with Island into Tamiyo here. They have Grief. Do I care? Honestly, I think I'm gonna let this one go. Don't want to waste the force on this one. I have another one, so that's really nice. I'm not even sure what they should take. I guess Tamiyo? Yeah, they do take Tamiyo. That makes sense. Draw another swords. That's good. So I'm going to get the... I could get Tundra and then Ponder. It's so risky. If they're Wasteland me, I'm going to feel so bad. I'm gonna play Island and Ponder. Okay, that's good. So I think I don't want to shuffle these away. I want everything. Small mistake here. Probably should have drawn the Tundra so they can't take Doorkeeper Throw. Don't think it matters all that much, but it's a small detail. If you resolve Thrall against this deck, you're in very good shape. It's also really nice that it has Flash too. They reanimate Grief. I think I'm going to let that one go too. What are we going to take that I care about? I have swords, double swords, so I can get rid of Grief. This is fine. I'm going to let it resolve. So we're probably going to take Thrall here. As I said, I should have drawn the Tundra. Then again, they could also take swords. Yeah, they do take this Thrall, but it's still okay. So let's just get rid of Grief in their attack step. Wasteland. That's fine. I know I have a land on top, so... Ponder. Sure. So I'm just going to draw the land I knew was on top. They didn't shuffle with their Ponder. Good to know. Brainstorm's fine. Now, interesting here is that if I had actually drawn the Tundra, I would have not been able to play the Thrall, so that's notable. And then I wouldn't have had white mana for another turn. Wasteland sucks in this situation, so... Drawing a card here. I guess I just play Narset. Why wait? Don't think I have the luxury of waiting until I draw another land to play around Days, because if they take Narset, I'm going to feel awful. I could see myself forcing here. Forcing... Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna. They have another Days. Okay, so that sucks, but that's Days number 3. Statistically, that was very unlikely. Also means that they don't have a lot going on, and they probably had a cantrip. There we go. So I really wanted to fight over the Narset, and I think that was the correct call, especially given the follow-up. It wasn't Days number 3, it was Days number 2. They put in Tomb into the graveyard. I find Flooded Strand. Okay, let's pass. Get rid of Troll. So 1 card in hand. Currently there's nothing that I'm really afraid of that they could reanimate. So this Swords is good. Whatever they hardcast, I just Swords. Probably going to be Grief. There we go. So Grief resolves. I Swords it. That's a good draw. This matchup's really not that bad for Jeskai Control. We have good top decks. If they another Grief, that's okay. Don't care. Grief is a relatively bad top deck late. I'm going to draw Brainstorm. Cage, that's not bad. I like this. I think we are very close to stabilizing here. If they start attacking, that's good, because I want to draw cards with this Tamiyo, so I don't think they should attack. But they do, that's good. Force. He's going to slam in here. Get a clue, pass. Hope that I can just cash in these clues next turn. So they slam in again. Okay. Vista. Let's think. What I can do is I can play Vista, get Islands, and then put... I guess swords on top. And then draw it with the clue tokens. Don't hate that. So that's what we did. I'm going to put the swords on top. Yes, please. Let's attack first. Get another clue. So draw the swords. I think I want swords first, just in case they have another daze. There we go, this flips. And now it's looking pretty good. I'm not going to play the Volcanic because they can just wasteland it. I've already played a land too, so... Yeah, Grafdigger's Cage looking really hot here. And this Tamiyo will just win me the game. Whenever I had Tamiyo, it's been really good. Now I could also return removal spells while they cycle the troll, don't care. Force is really good. I think I just want to win here. I want to play Teferi even. I guess I do. I think I'm just going to minus. I want to draw cards. Vexing Bauble, that's a good pickup. That's a really good pickup. I'm going to play it. I can hardcast this Force of Will, and I can even draw with the Bauble to sack it and be able to force. So, okay, I think it feels like we are getting full control of this game. And I'm just going to continue doing nothing. I think that's the best thing for us to do here. So just plus and pass. They're also not wastelanding Volcanic Island with their wasteland, which is something that they definitely should have done. Because if I had drawn 4th Elingus, that would have been game. Next one, I'm just going to Tamiyo. Ult, and then it's game over. Would be nice if I can do that while they concede. Unfortunate. Would have been nice to be able to do that. Nice. So we beat Scam. This is a deck that's relatively good against Scam. It feels like they just need to stop the early all in, and then you can stabilize. So we're on the draw for round 4. Hand's pretty good. Cantrip, Force, 2 Planeswalkers that can win me the game. Pretty good stuff. You have returned, my friend. Okay, I'm gonna yield. As I said, I don't want to talk about this matchup too much. Everyone's sick and tired of Scam, so let's just see what happens. Okay, so they pitch grief, they take my Force, and then they entomb before Atraxa. So I'm gonna ponder, see if I can find Force of Will. Otherwise, it's game over next turn when they reanimate the Atraxa. If they don't have the reanimate, I really don't want to have Dress Down and or Brainstorm. So I'm gonna put them like this. I'm not gonna shuffle to find a random Force. I don't think that's worth it because now I have 2 cards that do actually do something unless they have to reanimate. I'm just going to concede if they have it. There we go. So sideboarding, same stuff as last time. We bring in the Thralls. You want to have your Graveyard Hate. So we saw that Lavinia was good. Vexing Bauble is good too. 4th Negations are really not that great. Neither are the endings. And then we just trim some stuff. So I'm going to cut 1 Tamiyo, 1 Narset. That worked last time. And submit. I think I brought in Triumph last time too, but it's okay. So I'm going to keep turn 1 Ponder, see what we find. They have the Grief turn 1. There's nothing you can do, so... Okay, that's pretty good, because that means I can... If they have Grief, at least I have another Force left, so I'm going to put them like this. Then draw the Lorien afterwards to have another land. That does mean that I'm going to have to get rid of Swords, which is unfortunate, but... Yeah, we'll see how the game develops. So no turn 1 play. I could Brainstorm here. Then if I fail to find a land, I'm going to feel awful. So I think I'm just going to Lorien. Going to get another island, play it, and pass. They cycle a Troll end of turn. Not a lot going on here. I'm going to play Tamiyo. I want to play around Bowmasters because it's often in the sideboard, so I'm going to play this. Then I'm just going to chill, do nothing. There we go, that's the Bowmaster I was talking about. So I'm going to brainstorm now. I want to play around the Bowmasters the best I can. Probably going to Daze a Force, and then I'm going to Force back. Could also force the Bowmasters. Because I have another Brainstorm. Don't hate that. But they are going to Force. So I'm actually going to force all the Bowmasters first. They have a basic, so I'm actually just going to pitch my back to basics. And now I kind of like forcing their force. Then again, I have another Brainstorm, so this is okay. It's possible that they were just trying to bait out me having Force or Will. Don't want to walk into that trap. That Frog. Now, I can Prismatic Ending the Frog, so I'm going to let that one resolve. Let's Brainstorm. I should probably attack first, though, right? Got a token. What they could do is they could discard a bunch of cards. If they discard 2 cards, that works. But then I can just Brainstorm. Let's do just that. Okay, so no blocks. Let's Brainstorm, and then Prismatic Ending the Frog. We did not find a land, so I'm going to have to ponder. That's awful. Okay, so be it. So I'm going to put these back. Tamiyo does flip, that's good. I'm going to plus, ponder. So that's a shuffle. Yikes. Okay, so a bit unlucky with the lands here. If I don't draw land soon, it's just game over. Brainstorm, that's fine. So it looks like they're going to put a bunch of counters on the Frog. I think they want to kill Tamiyo, right? Yep. It does get only 1/3, so that's nice. They do draw its player and Planeswalker. So we're good, we just need to draw land. Voidwalker, I think I'm going to counter it. Especially since they've discarded the Daze. So what I could do is I could return Lorien and get my Tundra. That's a bit desperate, so I don't want to do that. If I don't find anything with the Brainstorm, I may have to. Okay, so it's pretty good. So do I want to get rid of the Frog first? Or do I want to play the Rest in Peace? But if I'm going to put these 2 back, I think I'm just going to get rid of the Frog first. I'm going to do it in my turn, because if I go to their turn, they could actually force a negation and hardcast. I'd feel horrible. There's the Force Will. So that's okay. I think I'm actually now going to take back the Swords. I could also plus Tamiyo. Keep the pressure on. Then they do deal 2. If I don't take back Swords now, it's possible that I'm never going to be able to, so I think I have to take it back. And pass. If I can just Swords the Frog and play Rest in Peace, I think that's enough to stabilize. So I just slam in, not discarding anything. They Brainstorm. They reanimate the Troll, that's okay. Let's ponder first. So I think I want to this turn Swords. I want to Swords the Frog. Next turn I can Swords again. I could even Supreme Verdict. So I probably want to put him like this. Okay, so I was able to Swords the Frog. Looks like we're getting good shape. Especially with the Troll being the only thing. I can safely Swords it away. And I still have Supreme Verdict if it fails. I'm at 14 life, so okay. We have some time. So I think I want to do this in the upkeep. Okay, so let's think. I think I'm going to have to draw the Clue token, take the Supreme Verdict, use Lorien, and then Swords. But that walks into Daze. Things if I don't do it like that, I'm not going to be able to cast the Supreme Verdict. I could also not do the Swords right now. In their next turn, take 6, and then use Lorien, after drawing a card with a clue token, that means I have exactly the possibility of getting Tundra, and then I'm able to play the Supreme Verdict. I don't think I want to take 6 from the Troll. Okay, I've decided. I'm just going to pass through the turn. Okay, so that means I'm going to Swords now. If they cycle another Troll, that's okay. I can rest in peace next turn, so... If we just survive a couple of turns... Should be good. Put Wasteland in the graveyard? Yeah, that makes sense. So I am going to draw the Verdict. They have the Bowmaster, so be it. I can't play around it forever. Drew Flooded Strand. That's not bad. Let's start by playing... Oh, I could also just board wipe now. That does make it so I have a healthy 5 life left. If they had Bowmaster, they would have used it, but that would mean that I've lost the possibility of using this Rest in Peace at a good time. Okay, I'm going to play Flooded Strand, I'm going to play Rest in Peace. So now they do need to play to the board, so this Supreme Verdict could be very good. Kind of hoping that they just put everything that they have on the board. But my guess is that they will just play a threat after threat each turn now. Dress down, it's not bad. Do I want to play Lorien? And by play I mean cycle. I don't think so. I have to do this. Okay, that's a good sign. We have Thrall and Dress Down now, so that's also nice. I think I want to be able to hardcast Lorien. Again, afraid of Bowmaster, but I don't want to waste my Lorien here. Going down to 1 is scary, not gonna lie. Bowmaster kills me, can't force. Grief. Okay, so this is excellent. Cage is not what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna have to Dress Down now. And I'm just digging for removal spells, basically. Find Swords. That's what I was hoping for. But they have Force and Negation. Doesn't matter, if I would have played it in their turn, they would have hardcast, and that's even worse. So we lose this one. Right, let's see if we can finish with an interesting game. If I'm playing against Scam, I'm literally just going to concede. I do not want to play against that deck anymore. But this is one of those hands that's awkward. All the cards are in here are good, but it's so slow. I think I'm going to have to mulligan. Also, no removal spells. Yeah, this is much better. Let's keep, and we're going to cut the Force and Negation, I think, and done. Vexing Bauble turn 1. So, do I really want to use my Force Will on this? I guess pitching the Lorien Revealed is relatively free. Yeah, I think I'm gonna... That was it for their turn, so I'm just gonna play, I guess, Island into Ponder. And now, if I find Force Will with this Ponder, I'm really happy that I countered. Here's the Ponder. That's good. That's really good. Back to base is going to be really good. I think I want to put them like this because I don't want them to take away Back to Basics. And I want to play Back to Basics on turn 3. So next turn I expect that I will need to play Tamiyo. Have Swords up. End of turn I can hopefully Lorien and then... no. Not an option because of Back to Basics still being on top of the library. Yeah, no, because I'm not going to draw it. Small error in my brain. We did it correctly. Cloudpost. Well. This Back to Basics is going to be insane. It's so good in the matchup. Okay, so play the Plains, play Tamiyo. In the end of their end step, I'm going to Lorien, play Back to Basics, and hopefully just hope that they tap out. I'm going to play Back to Basics regardless. It's too good not to play. Eldrazi Confluence, what the hell is this? So -3, and they make a token. Perfectly fine by me. In this matchup, Tamiyo isn't that great anyway, so let's just get an island and play Back to Basics. Could be good enough. They do get some mana off of these Scions, but... Ah, yes. Draw an asset again. So if this is the second Eldrazi deck, it's possible that I'm going to play one Ruination or something like that that destroys everything in the sideboard if this keeps happening, because, well, if they have the Displacer again, we saw how good it was against us. They just concede. Yeah, back to basics. If you don't have the Displacer, it's just game over for this deck. Nice. Definitely want the other back to basics. I do like Wrath of the Skies. It gets rid of some Pithing Needle, etc., etc. I think that's pretty much it. Not a lot of stuff that you want against this deck. Press downs are probably not worth it. And maybe cut Supreme Verdict. I think that's fine. That's definitely not what you want against them. So Mulligan. Swords, there's so many bad cards in the matchup, but you have to... There's not a lot of things you want to put into the deck. So this is a keep. Honestly, I may even just get rid of the swords. But also get rid of Tamiyo. But it is blue, so I think we're going to get rid of the swords. I'm going to... Back to basics is the card that's going to win me the game here. So I think I'm going to keep it Tamiyo. I could pitch it to Brainstorm. To Force of Will, sorry. Another Tamiyo. Okay. So let's find Island, play it. Flipping it to turn 2 after also getting a clue is just ridiculously good. This is really nice, the Planet Nexus. Trinisphere, do I care? Yeah, probably do. Because if I don't draw exactly a land, that is unfortunate. You're going to see me draw a land now, for sure. Okay. So attack first, then Brainstorm. No lands. That sucks. So, don't think I want swords. Don't think I want Narset. I just want to find lands. Yep. Like this. Tamiyo flips. He's gonna plus and ponder, dig for lands, so I can. I just want to slam down back the basics on turn 3. So that's a difficult one because there's a force of negation, but I said that I would just want to play it back to basics, so let's just do that. No lands, okay. Unlucky here. Alright, so let's draw that land and get him. If it's Tundra, I'm just going to slam it down. Okay, ponder. So I guess we just take the force of negation. I could also take back the force of will. I don't hate that. Setting up to survive until next turn when I play back to basics. Sounds like a game plan. Okay, pass. So they make 2 extra mana. Don't think that makes a big difference. Don't think I want to fight over this. I want them to tap out. So I'm definitely going to counter that. So they knew that I've taken Force of Will. So they're going to tap out and cost a big thing, and I need to counter that and then play back to basics. That's the game plan. Alright, so we played this one very well. Let's see if this back to basics is going to be able to carry us. Possible. Possible. Yeah, they just concede. Nice. I think we played it really well there last turn, that we picked up the Force of Will after drawing the Force of Negation. So we just ensure that we were able to play back to basics there. Nice. Okay, so conclusion, deck feels really, really good. Whenever we had Tamiyo, she was excellent, so I don't think I'm going to change anything. Didn't really miss the spell Pierce, neither did I miss the Narset. What are these doing? Oh, the Tamiyo ult is in a winning condition on its own, so you don't really need the Days Undoing anymore, and cutting down one Narset if not playing Days is fine. And Spell Pierce is just not what we're going to be doing in the current meta. Didn't really get to cast the Wraths in the sideboard. Faced a lot of scam too, so yeah, really nice, really nice. Pretty happy. Alright, see you next time. Bye.